Alright. Looks like we're live. Cool. Get this stuff set up here. How's my all I'm sure of nobody doing currently? Let's see. I'm doing it right now. Nobody. That's what I expected. Okay. Alright. Hey guys, Brony General here, back with another live stream, and today we're going to be working on this 13-inch Magnavox. Can I get a model number on this thing? It is a model RR1337, made in August of 1992. Little wood grain 13-inch RF only set here. And recently, and by recently I mean about, 2 months ago, I gave this TV a new set of convergence rings because during a routine setup on this thing, the convergence rings turned to dust. So it never got set up again after that. I haven't really had time to get back to it. And being that I often need this TV and haven't had it for a while, I figured we'd get a chance to do that finally. So, this being a Magnavox from the 90s, it's a lot like an RCA where it has these stupid quarter-inch sockets instead of, or quarter-inch self-tapping bolt things instead of actual screws. So there we go. Make sure that I was correct about that. Thankfully, I have socket sets these days. Yeah, we're going to be just doing a convergence setup and basic things like that with this TV today. Nothing too major. Alright. Let's get the back off of this set. Now this set I've used, well, see, I got this one probably about, oh, pardon the mic bump, let me actually get that out of the way so that I have less likelihood of doing that again. Try to turn this around here. There we go. Now by all means should be able to hear me, and I hopefully won't bump the mic nearly as much. But anyway, this set I got about a year or two ago, and it's just kind of an on and off throw-in set for here and there things. Although the most recent job that it had, and the reason that it was getting a general setup, was that it was a monitor for the secondary screen on my computer. So this set obviously needed to be at its sharpest, and while it was decently sharp, the convergence was off. So that is what I aimed to fix. Then the convergence rings exploded, so I wasn't able to fix it. Finally put a new set of convergence rings on it about a month later, and now here we sit about to finally set it up. Unfortunate when you can't do things in a timely fashion, but that's what happens to me a lot. Okay, it's dustier in here than I remember. And it also looks like my dog has been at this cord. Damn newt. Looks like it should... Yeah, it should be fine now. It's a little bit frayed, but it's not in terrible shape. I'll trust it. So, see if I get this. Let me go into OBS, that way I can actually see what I'm doing in real time. If I get it over here. And use the camera pan. Lost feed there. There we go. But there you can see the convergence rings if it'll focus. Switch to manual focus. That's worse. Nope, that's not better. It's just not focusing. Well, that's just great. But anyway, the convergence rings on this set, they were replaced with ones out of a parts set because the ones on this one turned to dust. So here we are to set it up today. Tonight. This evening. Time. Let's see if I can't plug this in here. Do pardon the sounds of scratching and scraping as my dog runs through the house throughout the stream. Rambunctious little puppy. There we go. Now I can plug this thing in. Contact. There we go. Cool. Now, actually bring it this way. You guys can see the screen. Trying to get that out. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so if we get this thing on snow, or it's already going to be displaying a picture, go off, I guess. Okay. Well, there's snow, and you can kind of see on the camera, actually. Yeah, that this area here is just a little bit dark. And purpley, and then this side's a little bit green. So we should be able to tune that on this set. Go over to channel 3 here. Let me plug in an antenna. And try not to knock over everything in the process. Took long enough for it to find the right video. That's the one. Yeah, I'm not going to have ads playing on my channel. I specifically do not want that. Okay. There we go. Now I can see what we're dealing with here, and it looks like majority of the color separation is right over here in this corner. I'll go ahead and switch back over to the stream. Hey, we have a concurrent viewer. Hello, concurrent viewer. Alright. So, if I crack the purity rings loose here, let's start playing with them. Anyone who's done purity rings before, purity/convergence rings, will know that it's a very delicate and annoying process. You can get it in about 5 seconds, or it can take all day. But we'll try to make this not take super long. That actually looks way better already. But see, now the color shift has migrated to a little bit down here. See how that looks on snow. That does look way better on snow, so that's good. So, just keep kind of fiddling with them back here. Get them as good as I can. Of course, this set I don't think is going to be. Ooh, that's pretty close. That's really good and dead on, except right over here. Ooh, if I can just get that out of there. Of course, this set's never going to be quite perfectly dead on because this is a RF only Magnavox from the early 90s. It's not exactly a fancy high-end television set with a super nice tube in it or anything like that. But alas, it does work. And it works pretty good for what I've been using it for. Now the purity rings are all screwed up. And my camera's going back into standby. No. There we go. Feed is returned. See, it's funny. Sometimes it will do that, and sometimes it won't do that. I don't know why my camera decides when it does and doesn't want to go into standby mode. So, strange. But going back to the convergence here. I almost had it perfect, and then I had to keep messing with it. This is what often happens with convergence. It's a lot like tuning a carburetor, actually. You get it almost perfect, and then you screw it up, and it's fucked again. And now you have to start all over. Yay. I'm also glad that the purity rings do work for this set as well as they do. I wasn't too sure that they were actually going to be as well working as they are. But they actually seem to be pretty damn good. I also need to move the picture over a little bit like that. Come on. So I'm having a problem lining up the blue and the green over here now. The fun of dialing in a CRT. Probably tighten up the ring tensioner just a little bit because these things are so loose they're just kind of flopping around on me. Okay. That looks like crap. Okay, so that there ends up basically moving the whole picture. But then this separates. Well, actually, that seems to do more to rotate than anything. Well, I guess it kind of does something over there. Anyway, these rings in the back section of the convergence ring set, I'm not sure yet what they do. Oh, definitely don't do nothing. Okay. They kind of shift a little bit, ow, of everything. That was a 120 volt shock right there. Love that. What up, way cool dude? Saw your comment earlier. Oh, having fun with CRTs, like I always do. Trying to get this convergence right. See, now that has that almost lined up, and now the blue is way off on the vertical axis. Gosh dang it. That brings it further away. Okay, so everything's lined up now except the blue and the red. This is why I don't like doing convergence rings. Convergence rings suck. I hate them. But, gotta do it sometimes. Yeah, that's like way off. That's like jokingly bad. Okay, so that seems to... Okay, that swings the picture this way. So if I do these two in tandem, maybe I get somewhere. This can be a fun process, and this can be an annoying process. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right, by the way. I mean, the microphone is at the end of the day kind of behind me. Here, I'm gonna try to fix that a little bit here. I just don't want to be I don't want to be bumping it all the time and then blowing out your guys' eardrums either. So I'm trying to balance those two things. Okay, now that split everything up really badly. Ooh, yeah, now that's off right there. That's like rainbow right there. You could probably even see that on camera. What is it? Yeah, you guys kind of can. Alright, let me bring that back. Let me see if I can actually I'll go into OBS and kind of try to see what I'm doing here. That's probably about as good as you guys are getting, unfortunately. But the woes of using a camera that's far older than the World Wide Web itself. Okay, I just looked away and looked back, and the convergence is almost perfect now. I'm going with it. Going with it. I'm just going to do a tiny little other way. Yeah. Okay, now.
Shit.
Perfect.
Your feed is blue.
Not so perfect. Uh-oh. Standby feed. There we go. Yep. Camera from 1987. It likes to go into standby mode randomly, so my apologies. Yeah, let's see. We got decent, not so decent. Ish. Kind of. Ooh. Ooh, it's like a one-ring balance here. One-ring balance. If I can get that one ring to line up properly. Oh, that looks really good, actually, for the most part. See, how's it look on the static channels? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't complain about that, by any means. Especially for a, like I said, this is an RF-only set. I mean, it's not exactly the greatest thing in the world to begin with, but I'm going to try to tighten up this now without it haywiring the convergence. There we go. That sets the convergence in stone now. So that's actually pretty well done. That looks okay. There's a little bit of an issue over here, but I think that is with magnetism and this TV set just being kind of sensitive. For those who don't know, some CRT sets, especially ones that have experienced a drop, they can react to which direction you're actually facing with them, and it can screw the purity up. It can screw up convergence, all sorts of things. CRTs are very reactive to the world around them, being a piece of analog technology. So there's focus. So we've got just a tiny convergence issue up here, and then a little more down here. So maybe just try to twack that a tiny bit. I don't want that being so loose. There we go. So let's try moving one here. Okay. And then, no, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. That's better. Yep, that's pretty much on point. Right there. So now I just gotta tighten that back up, and there we go. That's perfect, right there. So this set with a new convergence ring out of a donor set that, mind you, was different brand, different era, different tube, different everything, just the same size. And as you can see, we have it in a perfectly operable condition here. It's focused, it's converged. I can put this set back into service knowing that it looks pretty damn good. So, yeah, that's actually what I was hoping to get accomplished. I'm surprised I got it accomplished quite that fast. So, I guess we can throw some content on this thing, and let me make sure that I'm not going to have this camera timeout on me here. Yeah, I guess we'll put some content up on the display here, and just enjoy working CRT status. So we'll just do what I always do. We'll pull up that Costa Rica 4K video. The infamous Costa Rica video. Even after all of these years, this is one of the best ways I know of to test CRTs. So there's that. And you see, I'm noticing a big issue though, other than the fact that the 4K is lagging because of my Intel drivers. 1440 really gonna give me problems too? Nah, that looks fine. But I'm noticing an issue right away. Green. We've got like green happening over here. Which tells me either there's a magnetism issue with it, which could be pretty well determined by just rotating it real quick and turning it back on. Hard to say. Oh, we lost feed again. No. There we go. But, it's hard to tell if that solved the issue or not. I've got the D series on as a comparison, and I'm not noticing too. Well, it's hard to tell right now because there's black on the screen in that particular region. Well, yeah, that definitely does seem to have an effect on it. So I think it's just a magnetism thing. It's probably honestly this desk. So yeah, TV's actually functioning really damn well, as you can see here. Works pretty damn good. And yeah, that looks good enough that I could use it as a secondary monitor, I think. Let's see. Just going to some text here. Oh yeah, that's perfectly readable. Very readable. Okay. Yeah. So this can be put right back into the service that it was in. Might be able to focus it just a little better. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's as focused as she's getting. Alright. Well, with that being said, I got what I accomplished, or I got what I wanted to accomplish done here with this TV set. So I guess this will be a short-lived live stream. But we'll go ahead and put this set back together real quick. I suppose I should maybe clean it as well real quick. And in what I'm about to do in cleaning this set, don't ever do it yourself. Leave it to idiots like me that work on these sets all the time and don't mind getting shocked by them. Ugh. Yeah, a little dusty. Jesus. Yeah, a little dusty. A lot of dusty. It's not super high hour. I mean, it's a 13-inch, so they usually don't have as many hours on them. At least not quite as often. I've definitely seen some pretty worn out 13s, though. Ones that were running like 24/7 and random places. But this is not one of them. I would call this a medium hour set, if anything. It's not bad. And there we go. So, there's one of two things I actually plan on doing with this TV. One of them would be either putting it back on my desk, which I'm not sure I will actually be doing because I'm not sure I need a screen this big on my desk. Or the more likely option is that this actually ends up in my kitchen, as it's a 13-inch color set, and with the digital buttons instead of the knobs, the speaker being on the side and everything here, it's a very small overall form factor, so it would fit on top of the fridge pretty well and easily. Looks pretty good, and the tube in it is completely replaceable here. We got a Philips L40X tube, and I've looked up the specs on this tube before. Pretty standard 13-inch CRT. made anywhere from the 90s to the end of CRT runs. So if I really wanted to, I could wear this TV out 100 times and still be able to just replace the tube. So yeah, this will probably end up running as a 24-hour on set in my kitchen. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the back put back on, and I'm going to try to avoid bumping the camera with it, or bumping the microphone, excuse me. Make sure that we're still good on the footage feed. There we go. All right. Yes. If I can get this damn thing back on. I might have to do it like this. Oh, that's what was stopping me. The cord was kind of getting in the way. Alright. There we go. Okay. There's that. I just gotta put the stupid 1/4-inch screws in. I hate these. If I had the... Oh. There we go. If I had the willpower to get up, I'd probably go get some Phillips screws that I could replace these with. But this set's probably not coming apart again for a long time, if ever again within its lifetime. So, what's the real point, right? At the end of the day, the most this thing will get taken apart for is like a yearly service. And that's if it even gets that. A lot of CRTs are consistent enough for long enough that they never really end up getting serviced much. Because they really don't require service often enough to ever think about it. I mean, take my D-Series, for instance. I do, once in a great while, I have popped the back off, I think, once since I got it. Just to kind of tune things up a little bit. But for the most part... it really doesn't get touched much. Now, rear projections, on the other hand, they need constant service. They need constant love and attention and pampering and babying. I'd like to compare rear projection televisions to like owning a diesel truck. They can do a lot, and they look great, and they do all the jobs really well, but you got to baby them to get them there. They'll do everything you want them to if you do everything they want you to do first. I'll be doing a video about a certain diesel here not too long from now. So stay tuned for that. Alright. So, that's the set back together. I'm ready to be put back into a daily service life. So, with that being said, I guess I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I hope you enjoyed this one. And I'm going to, I guess, enjoy this Magnavox random CRT set that I use for stuff. Anyway.